sa ating lahat, no? Kanina nandun po ako sa inspection, kaya lang po meron po akong previous schedule na 3 weeks ago pa po. Biglaan tong pagpatawag ng hearing ni Senator Bato de la Rosa. Kaya sinamahan namin siya rito. Ang trabaho po ng isang senador ay hindi lang po isang mambabatas. Trabaho namin, legislation, constituency at representation. At ako naman nakikita nyo, Lunes hanggang Linggo po ako nagtatrabaho. Wala, parang pingpong na tong buhay ko. At kung ano po makakatulong sa ating mga kababayan, no? Lalong-lalo na po dito sa Davao. Dahil ako, bata pa ako, maalala ko talaga noon pa. Tahimik tong Davao. Magulo to, mga early 1980s, nung naging mayor na po si former president, former mayor, tahimik na po ang buhay dito. And used to be known as the most livable city in the Philippines, no? Tahimik po ang buhay dito. At hindi po magiging successful yan, kundi po dahil sa ating mga kapulisan. Hindi magagawa ni Mayor Duterte yung trabaho niya, kundi po dahil sa inyo. Kaya nga kanina nakita ko nga si General Torre. Naalala ko lang po, ito, nasubaybayan ko yung career ng ating chairman. Ang posisyon na hindi niya nakamtan bago siya naging Chief PNP ay maging RD po ng regional office ng Region 11. Naging Chief PNP siya pero hindi siya naging RD. So napakahalaga po niya, no? Isa po yan sa pinaka-prestigious na opisina. Regional Director ng Region 11. Anyway, Mr. Chair and resource persons in attendance today, magandang araw po sa ating lahat. I speak before you today not just a mere legislator, but as a voice for justice, fairness, and the protection of human rights. Mr. Chair, sa isang demokratikong bansa tulad ng Pilipinas, napakahalaga po ng maayos na pagpapatupad ng batas. No one is above the law. Sabi nga nila, kung pulis ka, nasa gobyerno na may mataas na katungkulan o normal na mamamayan, you are not above the law. Mr. Chair, ang maayos na pagpapatupad sa batas ang nagsisilbing pundasyon ng ating tiwala sa gobyerno at nagpapatibay ng ating paniniwala sa isang patas at makatarungang sistema. However, Mr. Chair, when the enforcement of law crosses the line into excessive force, when it is wielded not as a tool for justice but as a weapon of destruction, it is incumbent upon us to speak out. Kaya po kami narito ngayon. Sana po matapos na po itong kaguluhang ito. At dahil po sa nangyari sa KOJC ngayon, magdadalawang linggo na. To be exact, bukas, no? Apektado po ang traffic. At marami pong nagtatanong sa akin sa Maynila, kumusta na kayo sa Davao? Kumusta na ba? Safe bang pumunta ng Davao? Mga turista nagtatanong po sa akin, safe pa bang pumunta sa Davao? Nalulungkot po ako bilang isang Davaoenyo, Mr. Chair, kahit saan ako mapunta. Yan ang tinatanong nila. Ang gulo dito raw, ang gulo doon sa Davao. Mr. Chair, hindi ko po maalala na magulo sa Davao for the past 20 years. Bata pa nga po ako. Sabi ko, tahimik po yung buhay natin dito sa Davao. Nalulungkot po ako sa mga ganitong pangyayari. Hanggang kailan ba ito matatapos? Kaya kami narito para malaman po ang totoo at matapos na ito. Dahil kawawa po yung ordinaryong Pilipino. Kawawa po yung ordinaryong Davaoenyo na gustong mamuhay ng tahimik o pumasyal sa Davao. Sa totoo lang, mas marami po dito sa Davao ang gusto lang po mamuhay ng mapayapa. Walang pakialam sa politika. We just want peace and for this standoff to end. One of the founding fathers, Marcelo H. Del Pilar, whose birthday we just commemorated last August 30, once said, "The perfection of humanity is not possible without freedom for the individual. Thus, the existence of social institutions and all political organizations and relationships are justified, insofar as they have for their primary aim the defense and protection of freedom." Kung kaya nga nandyan po sa saligang batas, under Article 3, ang Bill of Rights. The Bill of Rights is there to protect our people from abuses of power, power that is given by our people. The Bill of Rights is our collateral, our security, our safeguard against abusive people in the government. As we are all aware, Pastor Quiboloy, a spiritual leader, stands accused. But today, I am not here to argue about his innocence or guilt because that is for the courts to decide. Nasa korte naman po ito. Instead, I want to address the disturbing exercise of power or the use of excessive force in the implementation of the warrant of arrest against him. Mr. Chair, this representation for so long strongly condemns any excessive use of force in pursuit of our official duty. Lagi po akong umaapila sa gobyerno, especially to our law enforcers, to be prudent in their actions and remain fruitful to their mandate to serve and to protect. Kaya naman po ang trabaho ng police, to serve and to protect. Hindi po kailanman magiging susi ang karahasan sa pagkamit natin ng hustisya o sa kasagutan sa ating mga katanungan. The continued occupation of police personnel in the Kingdom of Jesus Christ, KOJC, compound here in Davao, and the terror it brings to the community are causes of concern. While it is the duty of the police to serve an arrest warrant, there is no excuse for using force, creating fear, compromising the safety of civilians, disrupting the peace in the community and the face-to-face classes of students enrolled and occupying a place of worship. Ang Kingdom of Jesus Christ is a congregation. Pastor Quiboloy is only its executive pastor. Ang Kingdom of Jesus Christ po ay binubuo ng maraming miyembro, hindi lang po iisang tao. As member of the Committee on Justice and Human Rights and member of this Public Order Committee, I support the intent of Senator Bato de la Rosa and Senator Robin Padilla to scrutinize this PNP operation, which led to the death and injuries of civilians. Alam naman po natin, Mr. Chair, tayo mismo, ikaw naging chief PNP ka. Suportado natin ng pulis hanggang ngayon, pinaglalaban natin ng pulis. And even during the time of former President Duterte, 2018, dinoble po ang sahod ng pulis, ng military uniform personnel at pinaglaban natin ito. At full support po kami sa pulis hanggang ngayon po. Andirito po kami, Senator Bato ni Senator Robin, na sumusuporta po sa inyo, lalong-lalo na po in line of duty. Mr. Chair, it is crucial to remember that our law enforcement agencies, particularly the PNP, have a solemn mandate to serve and protect. This mandate is not just a slogan. It is a duty, a responsibility to protect the rights and welfare of every citizen. Mr. Chair, one life lost is one too many. Sabi ko nga, imbis na dapat po yung maximum tolerance po ang dapat gawin ng ating pulis. Kung hayaan natin ito, kung hindi tayo maninindigan laban dito, ano pa bang klaseng pang-abuso sa kapangyarihan na maaaring gawin nila sa buong Davao o maaaring sa ibang bahagi ng bansa? Ang tanong ko sa pulisya, ang tanong ko po sa inyo, at tatanungin ko to sa inyo mamaya. At ano ba ang magiging endgame dito? Hanggang kailan tatagal ang sitwasyong ito? Ano ba talagang endgame dito? As gusto ko rin pong tanungin ang KOJC. Ano bang inaasahan ninyo mula sa gobyerno para matapos na po ito? Nandito po ang komite upang makatulong at matapos na po ang standoff na ito. Alam nyo, kawawa yung taong bayan. Kawawa yung mga inosente. At kawawa yung pulis kanina. Pinuntahan nga namin. Tinatanong namin sila. At kailangan lang nilang sumunod sa kanilang trabaho. Ang amin dito is kailan ba ito matatapos? Mas marami pong Pilipino ang gustong mamuhay ng tahimik. Maraming salamat, Mr. Chair. At isisingit ko na lang din po kanina kasi nag-discuss kayo to General Torre. Pag mayroong mga earthquake, di ba usually ilang araw ba ang lifespan ng, sa tingin nyo, bago na kayo mag-i-end ng inyong search, pag merong bumagsak na gusali, halimbawa nung sa earthquake sa Baguio, ilang araw usually ang standard operating procedure na sa tingin ninyo na tama na, wala nang pag-asang makita yun. At pangalawa, after 13 days, no, do you think sa tingin ninyo kung may tao talaga doon sa ilalim, magsusurvive pa yun sa ngayon? Paano siya magsusurvive? May hangin, may pagkain, may aircon ba doon? Sa tingin ninyo, ano pang pwedeng madidiscover ninyo doon sa ilalim? Kung meron talaga kayong hinahanap doon sa ilalim after 13 days po.
Your Honor, as for your first question, I'm not an expert on the rescue and on how long can a rescue be conducted. However, on the second issue, whether a person can survive in bunker for so long, what we are looking here, sir, is the end of the world type bunker or Mageddon type bunker that can support life for extended periods of time. So there's really no assurance, there's really no estimates on how long they can survive in here, because we believe that they can survive for not only 13 days, but more than or extended periods of time, because we're not looking here, sir, at an ordinary makeshift bunker. This is something that is built by somebody who has 2 airplanes and 2 helicopters in his hangar. So, among others. So, this is something that's can be done and can really be built by somebody who is stature.
So, sa tingin mo, kayang mag-survive ng ilang buwan dyan?
Given enough resources, sir, people can really survive below ground, and which I will cover in my presentation later on, sir.
May kuryente doon sa ilalim?
Yes, sir, definitely. Ventilation, current, food, water, all the work, sir. And it could be very, very a comfortable life for a person, sir.
And then yung sa unang tanong ko kanina, yung end game dito, tatanungin ko rin sa KUJC dito. Anong end game ba rito? Anong in-expect po natin?
That's also covered in the last 3 slides of my presentation, sir. That will be covered. The end game, sir, is really
you can address the question directly.
Yes,
we don't have to wait for your presentation.
We will not stop until Mr. Kibuloy is arrested, because we really gonna turn our back against the helpless and voiceless victims of Mr. Kibuloy.
So, meaning you intend to stay there forever? Kung forever hindi makita si Pastor Kibuloy?
We have some recommendations in my presentation so that we can end this positively, sir. Because as we
remember that compound is not only being used by Pastor Kibuloy. If you believe he is still there, may mga estudyante dyan nag-aaral na hindi na nakapag-aral. May mga nakatira dyan na hindi na nakatira, pinalabas ninyo doon sa kanilang tinirahan.
Sir.
Merong nagwo-worship dyan na hindi na nakapag-worship dahil nga sa presensya ninyo. So, you mean to say you are willing to sacrifice all these rights, all these human rights of these people because of your firm belief that Pastor Apollo Kibuloy is still there inside that bunker? Talaga naniwala ka na may bunker dyan sa ilalim?
Yes, sir. Sir, if I may, sir.
Yeah.
We are this tenacious in serving these warrants because there are multiple warrants for this person. One of the warrants came out on August 8, 2024.
Okay, you don't need to discuss those warrants. Alam na natin yung lahat. It is available in open source.
But this is quite something.
Ako mismo, I am appealing to Pastor Kibuloy if kung pupwede sana, kung gusto lang niya, I have been a law enforcer before I become a lawmaker. So obviously, my bias is on the side of the law. Since he is facing a warrant of arrest, I am encouraging him. kung pwedeng isubmit niya sarili niya sa korte. Pero, again, nasa kanya yung desisyon na yan. He has all his personal reasons kung bakit ayaw niya mag-surrender. Alam ko yan. Pero, talaga bang desidido kayo na uubusin yung mga araw para lang makita siya dyan kahit na wala na kayo makita?
Please
Sige,
allow us,
sige.
sir, to
Magprangkahan tayo dito. Magprangkahan tayo.
for a comprehensive answer, sir. Please allow us to present our side in the presentation, sir. We will answer all of
Okay,
those, sir.
okay. Senator Bongo,
Bakit
hindi pa
yung
tapos,
tanong ko
Senator
kanina, sinagot niya, ano yung, sensya na kayo ha, na-miss ko lang yung saging dito. Tugba ng saging, count ha?